there is like hardly any creasing going on. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a wear test on the brand new Good Molecules Silicone-free Priming Moisturizer. I asked you guys on my Instagram story if you wanted a wear test, and surprisingly, every single person said yes. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. So I have tried this out on the back of my hand, and I am super excited to try it on my face today. I absolutely love these kinds of priming moisturizers. I have used a ton of the Smashbox Primerizer. I am obsessed with the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer, and I also use the Too Faced Hangover. But this one is a little bit different from all of the rest of them. So this one is just $14 for 1.7 ounces or 50 milliliters. So you get a ton of product in here, and you only need like the smallest amount to cover your entire face. So a couple of the things I wanted to note about this was it has antioxidants, macadamia seed oil, it's supposed to be breathable, it's supposed to plump up fine line, it's supposed to be lightweight, soothing your skin for like dry, irritated redness, and then it's supposed to protect and strengthen your skin barrier. And then on the bottle it says that it's formulated with shea butter, macadamia seed oil, and plant-derived silicone alternative to deeply hydrate, smooth, and nourish your skin. And if you guys haven't seen my skincare Sunday video, I use a bunch of the Good Molecules products in that video, but I wanted to point out that I absolutely love when they have these little symbols on the bottle to help you know when you can use this. And it says directions: gently massage onto cleansed skin. I did clean my skin before filming. When using a sunscreen, let priming moisturizer fully absorb before applying, suitable for daily use. So a lot of people don't really know what a priming moisturizer is. So with this one, you can use it as a moisturizer and or a primer. Same with the First Aid Beauty one. I have not used the Smashbox one as a moisturizer, and I haven't used the Too Faced Hangover Primer as a moisturizer, but I would definitely use this as a moisturizer. This feels so good. I pumped it out like probably 8 times on my hand last night because I was like, this is like the most moisturizing thing my hands has come in contact with like all week. This is insane. I did want to try it out with a foundation that I'm pretty familiar with. I know how it wears. So I am going to be using the Fenty Beauty, the regular Pro Filter foundation. Since this is a medium coverage, it doesn't have any SPF in it. I'm very familiar with how it wears on my skin, so I can tell like this isn't normal, this is normal. So I like using something hydrating, lightweight as a primer for this foundation anyways. So I'm pretty familiar with how it's supposed to act with this kind of primer. And again, this packaging is so adorable. I think Good Molecules has the cutest packaging. It looks so adorable. Like everything that they come out with has, I don't know, like the packaging just gets me every time. And even the boxes, the color of the boxes, the font, the coloring, I don't know, it just gets me every single time. Before I apply this on my skin, I want to show you what it looks like on my hand. This is about how much you should use for your whole face. So it is pretty thick. It's not like running or anything, but as you kind of warm it up into the skin, it gets a really lightweight, watery feeling to it. And then it starts to get a little bit of a thicker, moisturized feeling once it's on your skin. So it is pretty breathable from what I can tell on my hand and from rubbing it in. It's really lightweight, but then it has the feeling like you just moisturize with a really thick cream in the best way possible. Like it's lightweight to where I think like oily skin, dry skin, lots of different skin types can use it and be pretty comfortable with using this under foundation. But it leaves your skin feeling so plumped and hydrated. It's literally like a drink of water. And then the difference between this one and the Primerizer, since I feel like a lot of people are going to be asking about this one is pretty runny, as you can tell from the bottle. This one is a lot more of a gel consistency. I'm just gonna put it on top. You can see it starts running down my hand. It doesn't have as deep of a hydration feeling to it as the Good Molecules one. It definitely feels like a regular gel consistency moisturizer. So I also wanted to point out on the packaging, it does say what it's free from. This is a cruelty-free brand. So if you guys are looking for cruelty-free products that are inexpensive, highly recommend, even though I haven't even put it on my face, but I love Good Molecules. I haven't found anything from Good Molecules that I don't like at all yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on one side of my face, kind of show you guys the difference of what each side of my face looks like, and then I'm going to put it all over my face. And then it also has the saying of like, when you're using sunscreen, let priming moisturizer fully absorb before applying. So I do want to try putting a little bit of the Supergoop SPF on one side of my face just to see what it's like. So again, I'm just using a tiny little bit. Man, it has the same feeling on my face as it does on my hand. It's just so lightweight. I don't know how to explain it. Like, as you warm it up, it starts to feel like water thin, but it leaves your skin just like so instantly hydrated. So I'm gonna zoom in, show you guys my cheeks if you notice any difference. I know I don't have any fine lines. This isn't a glowy primer at all, but just to show you guys from like around my nose, this corner of my nose, around my mouth area, this side, cheek, forehead. I'm not particularly dry at the moment, but I do have combination skin, so I do get pretty oily in the T-zone, and then I can get really dry around my cheeks and my nose and also on my forehead. And it seems to absorb pretty fast into the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and put some on the other side. The other thing I want to say is it does feel pretty lightweight. It doesn't feel lightweight as like right after you put it on. So like right after you put it on, it almost feels like your skin just got like this drink of water, and you can kind of like feel how hydrated it is. So I'm gonna let this sit on my skin for just a couple minutes to make sure that it's fully absorbed into my skin before I put the sunscreen on, and then I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes that I've let this kind of sit on my skin. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen. This is the one that I normally wear underneath foundation. I don't really know how this is going to react to it, because I think this has a very silicone-y texture to it, and I know that this is silicone-free. Should I use this one? I don't know. This is very silicone-y. I feel like that defeats the whole purpose. Give me a second. All right, I have found a little sample size of the Origins A Perfect World SPF 40, which is basically a moisturizer with an SPF in it. So maybe this one will react a little bit better than just like a straight up silicone texture. So this is what the Origins looks like. It is pretty white. It does smell pretty interesting. I do have an issue where SPF does ball up on me. So I'm kind of curious if maybe that's why they said that. But so far, it's layering over it pretty nicely. I'm not having any issues with it balling up or anything. It did add a lot more of a glow on this side than on this side, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, now let's go in with the Fenty foundation. One thing is that I always forget is that you gotta shake it. Sometimes I'll pump it out and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot to shake it up. So I'm just gonna take 2 pumps of this foundation. I'm gonna start off on this side. And I do like to work from the center of my face out towards the perimeter of my face because most of my discoloration is in the center of my face. So I like to focus most of the coverage there. All right, so far both sides are looking pretty good. Nothing's lifting, balling up, being really weird. Foundation's acting pretty normal. I will say I like the side with just the priming moisturizer more than this side with the SPF. I don't really like this foundation to have that much of a glow to it. All right, but we're looking pretty freaking good. I just want to zoom in on this side. I feel like my cheeks are looking pretty good, especially my pore area compared to this side that has a lot more of a glow. I think my nose got covered pretty well. Nothing's really strange around my nose. My forehead's looking really good. All right, I'm just gonna follow up with a little bit of concealer. I'm just gonna use the Fenty Beauty one, and I'm only gonna use a little bit of concealer today. I don't really use a lot of concealer on an everyday. All right, everything is looking pretty good. And I have been using this Kat Von D setting powder for ages now. There's literally the tiniest bit left in here. So I'm pretty familiar with the setting powder and how it works with the Fenty foundation. So I'm gonna be using this. And I'm just gonna go and mainly set my under eyes and my eyelid. And then I'm also gonna set the center of my forehead and around the sides of my nose and my mouth, because that's where I tend to have creasing and I get pretty oily. And I think the setting powder did help to tone down a bit of that glow that this side had. But so far, everything is looking really good. I do still prefer this side over this side. I just think my pores look just way better. I don't know if you guys can tell through the camera, but like this side of my face just looks so blurred out. And like this side, it does have a glow, but like it's not as blurred. I don't know, it could be just the glow that's throwing me off, but like this side just seems like airbrush, diffuse. Nothing feels like it's on my face at all. Everything feels super lightweight. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows and then I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna wear this foundation for a few hours today. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm probably not gonna be taking this off until about 7, 8 o'clock at night. So we should have a pretty good wear test on this, and I'm ready to get into it. All right, so this is like a halfway checkpoint. It is almost 4 o'clock. It's like 3:45 right now, but I wanted to come in and I wanted to point out how freaking good my skin looks. So I put this on at 10 o'clock this morning. It's now almost 4 o'clock, and like my skin is looking bomb. So I normally get a lot of creasing with the Fenty foundation, which is one thing that I don't really like about the Fenty foundation, but like there is like hardly any creasing going on. Even on my smile lines, there is more creasing on this side, which I think has to do with the sunblock that's underneath. But as far as this side, do you guys see that? And then even around my nose, I am a little bit shiny. I am starting to get a little bit of oil breaking through this one spot, but I do not mind that whatsoever. I am getting more oily on this side, but again, I think it's because of the sunblock. But as far as this primer, I am so digging it, and I really want to try this primer out with a bunch of different foundations because, oh, you guys are a little bit crooked. I really want to try this foundation out with some other foundation. I really want to try out this primer with some other foundations because the one thing that I don't like about the Fenty foundation, it looks really good for a long time. I know how it wears, but it does give me creasing and I do get oily after like, I want to say like 6-7 hours of wearing it. So, I mean, I am getting oily in my T-zone, but that's normal. It still looks really good. It's not breaking up. It's not balling up. It's hardly creasing, which is insane. So I'm definitely going to be putting this up to the test. And I did pull out a couple of foundations that crease on me, that I like the finish of them, but they do crease on me. And I do want to try this primer out because I do feel like it does really plump up lines. I know that sounds so weird, and even though I've only used it on my face once, I seriously think that it has plumped up and hydrated my skin because I'm not creasing at all, which is insane. I can't believe that. But I'm going to be filming another video with this foundation on, so my next check-in I will be having pretty much a full face of makeup on. So just as a warning, if you want to watch that video, I'll have it linked in the description box, but this video is coming after the other video. Filming is confusing when you try to film a bunch of videos in a day, but that is what we're doing today. So cue full face of makeup. All right, last check-in for the day. It is about 8 o'clock at night. I'm pretty tired. My cold symptoms are starting to come up and I'm ready to take my makeup off. So my nose has been running a lot today, but surprisingly, I don't have like any foundation that really like came off. I mean, maybe like the tip of my nose a little bit and then like over here, but from a distance, you can't even tell. Also, this part of my face where the SPF was is a lot more shiny. There's a lot more oils coming through on this side than there are on this side for both sides of my face. As for the creasing, it stayed about the same since the last check-in. It's just gotten a little bit more shiny, which is fine. I can fix that with a powder. This side of my smile line has like the tiniest bit of creasing. This side definitely, oh, there's some dog hair on my face. There is more creasing on this side. I will blame it on the SPF, but as far as this side of my face, it is looking so good that I can't wait to use this primer with other foundations. I'm really curious to see what it's gonna do. I'm also really excited to use this as a moisturizer tonight. I think this is going to feel so good on my skin, especially since I've had a pretty bad cold for the last couple of weeks. Honestly, been like on and off. Some days are better than others, but my nose runs. It's been getting real crusty and dry. My skin needed this hydration. So I give this freaking like a million thumbs up so far. There were a couple of things that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video that I'm going to mention now. I did receive this from Beautylish, and then the other part's about being silicone free. It says, according to science, silicone doesn't cause breakouts, but that's not what we hear from our customers or many of makeup artists that we work with. That's why our first moisturizer had to be silicone-free. The new silicone-free priming moisturizer uses a greener emollient than silicone, known as esters. These safe fluids are biodegradable and friendly to our skin. That's really nice, and the environment. Oh, and it's vegan as well. I didn't know that. So that is it for my wear test. I am so ready to take my makeup off. I did film the Fenty Trophy Wife collection, so if you missed that video, it'll be in the cards. But let me know what you guys thought of this whole wear test. Do you think that you noticed a difference in my skin? I know I've done a few wear tests before, but knowing how the Fenty Beauty Foundation wears on me, and then it does crease on me, and I do get pretty oily, like I said earlier, within like the 6-7 hour mark, and I'm not that oily. I'm not creasing hardly at all. My skin actually looks really healthy. It doesn't even look oily. It looks pretty hydrated even on my cheeks where I'm like more dry, there's no like weird texture going on over here. I don't know, I'm just really satisfied with this, and I definitely need to do an update on this because I'm going to be trying several different foundations with this primer, and then hopefully I can see if I break out, which I highly doubt. I haven't had a makeup product break me out in a very long time, or if any foundations act really strange with this, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to give this video a big ol' thumbs up. And if you haven't seen my Good Molecules skincare review, I'll have that video right over here for you guys. This video will be suggested to you by YouTube, and my face will be right here where you can click on it and subscribe to my channel.